Gang, if you're enjoying this, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm push this out to more people. Subscribe if you're new and drop a comment to start a conversation. The more interaction we get here, the better this performs, so I appreciate every single one of you who takes the time.
How to make tomato puree at home. A step-by-step guide. Introduction. Tomato puree is a smooth, thick paste made by cooking ripe tomatoes and blending them into a rich liquid. It is commonly used as the base for soups, stews, sauces, pizza sauce, curries and many other dishes. Making tomato puree at home is an excellent way to preserve excess tomatoes during the harvest season and reduce waste. Good quality puree begins with selecting the right tomatoes. Choose fully ripe, bright red tomatoes that are firm, free from bruises, insect damage and disease. Plum or Roma tomatoes are ideal because they contain more flesh, less water and fewer seeds, but any ripe tomatoes can be used. Ingredients: 5 kilograms of ripe tomatoes, 2 teaspoons of salt, optional, for flavor and preservation, 1 teaspoon of sugar, optional, to reduce acidity, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice or 1 teaspoon of citric acid, optional, for longer storage, clean water for washing. Equipment needed: large cooking pot, sharp knife, chopping board, blender or food processor, wooden spoon, fine sieve or food mill, clean glass bottles or jars with airtight lids, large basin, funnel, clean cloth or paper towels. Step 1. Wash the tomatoes. Wash all the tomatoes thoroughly under clean running water. Remove dirt, dust, pesticide residues and insects. Discard any rotten or moldy tomatoes. Step 2. Remove the stalks. Using a sharp knife, remove the hard stem area from each tomato. Cut large tomatoes into halves or quarters. Small tomatoes can be left whole. Step 3. Cook the tomatoes. Place the chopped tomatoes into a large cooking pot. Do not add water because tomatoes naturally release plenty of juice during cooking. Cook over medium heat. Stir regularly to prevent sticking. Continue cooking for about 20 to 30 minutes until the tomatoes become soft and begin breaking apart. Step 4. Blend the tomatoes. Allow the cooked tomatoes to cool slightly. Blend in batches until smooth. If using a food processor, blend until there are no large pieces remaining. Step 5. Remove seeds and skins. Pour the blended mixture through a fine sieve or food mill. Press with a spoon to extract as much pulp as possible. Discard the seeds and skins. The remaining smooth liquid is your tomato puree. Step 6. Reduce the puree. Return the puree to the cooking pot. Simmer gently over low heat. Stir regularly. Continue cooking for 30 to 60 minutes depending on how thick you want the puree. Longer cooking produces a thicker puree. Step 7. Season the puree. If desired, add salt, sugar, lemon juice or citric acid. These ingredients improve flavor and help preserve the product. For a plain cooking puree, many people leave out the salt and sugar. Step 8. Sterilize the bottles. Wash bottles or jars thoroughly. Place them in boiling water for about 10 minutes. Remove carefully and allow them to dry upside down on a clean towel. Sterilize the lids in boiling water as well. Step 9. Fill the bottles. While the puree is still hot, pour it into the sterilized bottles using a funnel. Leave about 1 centimeter of space at the top. Seal immediately with sterilized lids. Step 10. Final heat processing. For longer shelf life, place the sealed bottles into a pot of boiling water. Boil for 20 to 30 minutes. Remove carefully. Allow the bottles to cool naturally. As they cool, the lids should seal tightly. Storage. Store unopened bottles in a cool, dark and dry place. Properly processed tomato puree can last up to 12 months. After opening, refrigerate immediately. Use within 5 to 7 days. Tips for high-quality tomato puree. Use only fully ripe tomatoes. Do not use rotten or diseased fruit. Cook slowly to develop a rich flavor. Remove seeds and skins for a smooth texture. Avoid adding too much salt if the puree will be used in different recipes. Always use clean equipment to prevent contamination. Yield. Approximately 5 kilograms of fresh tomatoes produce about 2.5 to 3 liters of tomato puree, depending on the variety and water content. Roma or Plum tomatoes generally produce more puree because they contain more flesh and less juice. Uses of tomato puree. Tomato puree is extremely versatile and can be used to prepare pasta sauces, pizza sauce, beef and chicken stews, vegetable soups, curries, rice dishes, lasagna, shakshuka, casseroles.
Homemade tomato ketchup. Making tomato puree at home is a simple, cost-effective way to preserve seasonal tomatoes while producing a healthy product free from artificial colors, preservatives and flavor enhancers. With proper hygiene and storage, homemade tomato puree provides a convenient ingredient that can be enjoyed throughout the year. Advantages of making tomato puree instead of selling fresh tomatoes. Processing tomatoes into tomato puree offers several important advantages over selling fresh tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes are highly perishable and usually last only a few days after harvest, especially in hot weather. During peak harvesting seasons, when many farmers are selling tomatoes at the same time, market prices often fall sharply, leading to financial losses. By turning fresh tomatoes into tomato puree, farmers and food processors can significantly extend the shelf life of their produce, allowing it to be stored for several months or even up to a year when properly packaged. This reduces post-harvest losses and food waste. Tomato puree also has a higher value than fresh tomatoes because it is a processed product. Farmers can earn more income by selling bottled puree to households, restaurants, hotels, supermarkets and food manufacturers. In addition, tomatoes that are slightly overripe or too soft for the fresh market, but still healthy and safe to eat, can be processed into puree, reducing waste and increasing profitability. Another advantage is that tomato puree is easier and cheaper to transport because it is concentrated, requires less space and is less likely to be damaged during handling. It also provides consumers with a convenient, ready-to-use cooking ingredient, creating a stable demand throughout the year rather than only during the tomato harvest season. Overall, processing tomatoes into puree transforms a highly perishable crop into a long-lasting, value-added product that increases income, reduces waste and creates new business opportunities.
That was very informative. Now, if you're enjoying this, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm push this out to more people. Subscribe if you're new and drop a comment to start a conversation. The more interaction we get here, the better this performs, so I appreciate every single one of you who takes the time.